Welcome to Excise and Licenses online training videos. This video will show you how to apply online for a new temporary restaurant business license. There are a couple of steps to take before you apply online. You'll first want to go to the temporary restaurant website to see all required documents for this new application. You will need to fill out an affidavit of commissary and a temporary restaurant acknowledgement letter. You'll then fill those documents out and you'll email them to phicomments@denvergov.org, and that is the Department of Public Health and Environment. They will need to approve that affidavit of commissary. They'll approve it and then they'll send it back to you. And then you'll want to make sure that once you have those approved documents that you have them uploaded to your computer. And again, you'll want to make sure that that affidavit of commissary is approved, and that's on the bottom part of the document that is approved. And then you'll also want to make sure that you have a login for Denver's online permitting and licensing center. If you already have a login, you'll want to make sure that you use the same email and password that you have used in the past, because that's where all of your records will reside, is under that email. And then you'll want to make sure that you have a credit or debit card ready, and you may also process a payment from a bank account. You would need the routing number, account holder name, and account type. Here is an example of the affidavit of commissary. The top portion of the affidavit is your company information. The middle part of the application is your commissary information. You'll want to make sure that everything is filled out and the top portion is signed and dated by you, and the middle portion is filled out by the commissary and signed and dated by the commissary. And then this bottom portion is what's going to be approved by the Department of Environmental Health. And so you'll want to make sure that that's approved before you send that to us online for your application. And then the other document that you'll want to make sure that you have filled out and signed and dated by yourself is this temporary food establishment acknowledgement letter. And you'll read the section, you'll initial, you'll read this section, initial, you'll read this section and initial. And then at the very bottom, you'll fill out the menu information, and then you'll fill out all of this right here and make sure that you fill it out completely and you sign it and date it. And then both of these documents again will be sent to environmental health. They'll approve it, send it back to you via email, and then you'll log in online and start your application. So this is where you are going to log online. And again, you either create an account, and I have a video for how to create a new account, and that's here you register for an account. Or if you already have an account, you will log in here or here. So let's enter in the email address and then the password. And then you click on login. And then here is the main page, and we're going to apply new. And so you go here where it says business, short-term rental, and occupational licensing. You're going to click on apply new. And then here you are going to apply for a restaurant temporary license. So that's this right here, restaurant temporary. You click on that little bubble next to it, and then you scroll down and you click on continue application. And this right here, this page is just asking you for your company name. So you'll enter in your company name, and then you'll click on continue application. And then here it's just asking for your company address. If your address is within the city and county of Denver, you'll enter in the address and then click on search. And then if it's not in the city and county of Denver, you'll just enter in the address and then you'll hit continue application. For this example, we're going to say that our address is in Denver. So we're going to enter in that address. and then click on search. And then it may bring up more than one example, and then you'll just click the one that applies to you. And then it may come up with more than one parcel. You'll just select the first parcel, and then it'll show you associated owners, and then you'll click on select. And then once you have that in there, you'll click on continue application. And then here is just asking for who is the individual applying for the license on behalf of the business. And then it's also asking for the responsible party. And it could be the same person as the applicant, but the responsible party is the person also that's going to be receiving emails regarding this application. So we're going to first enter in our applicant name. So then you just enter in your first name and last name, and then your birth date, and then you'll enter in your address, your city, your state, and your zip code. And then we also need a good phone number. And please note that these phone numbers and emails need to be valid phone numbers and emails. This is how we will communicate with you. We'll send your license and your invoice to that email address. So you'll enter in that information and then click on continue. And then here for responsible party, we're going to add new. And then you'll just type in your information. And again, make sure that it's a good email and phone number. And then you click on continue. Okay, and now we have both the applicant and responsible party. And you'll just look at that and verify it for accuracy. If you see that you need to update something, you can click on the edit button here or here for each section. Otherwise, we will just click on continue application. And then this is asking you if the temporary restaurant applicant has a restaurant license in the city and county of Denver. And for this example, we will just say yes. And then we want also the details. We want the information for the actual event. And you may have more than one event that you're signing up for. So you would add multiple rows for multiple events. For this example, we're just going to add one row. So we add a row, and then we want the name of the event. And so for this example, I'm just going to say Taste of Colorado. And then we want to know what the street address is where the event is going to be held. And then we want the start date and the end date of that event. And then you'll enter in the start date and the end date. And then if you are nonprofit, and for this example, we're saying no. And then it asks for the frequency of the event. And know that you can only apply for 14 consecutive days for each application. And so for this one, the example I'm saying is that we are weekly, and that we are there every Friday for that week. And then we'll click on submit. And then here is telling you what the documents are that you need to upload. And if you had stated earlier that you were nonprofit, you will have to provide nonprofit documents. And again, those are listed on the website as to what we will accept as a nonprofit. And then so we are going to upload our documents. So you click on upload and then upload, and then you will go and find the document on your computer. And so we're going to upload the affidavit of commissary, and then we are going to click on upload again, and we are going to upload the temporary food establishment acknowledgement letter, because we want to make sure that we have both of those documents uploaded. Once we have that there, we click on continue, and then you will scroll down, and the application type right here, you're just going to say affidavit of commissary for the first one, and then for the second one was the acknowledgement letter, the temp food establishment acknowledgement letter. And then once you have both of those selected, then you'll click on save. And now we have both of our documents uploaded and we have our event information added. We're going to click on continue application. And then here is the final review page. And you'll want to make sure that everything looks good. And if anything needs to be updated, you could click on the edit button here next to each section, and it will take you back to that page to edit. Otherwise, everything looks good. And then we are going to click on continue application. And then here it shows you that your application has been submitted successfully to Excise and Licenses. Then what will happen is Excise and Licenses will review that application, and it can take up to 7 business days for that application to be reviewed. If everything is approved, we will email you back an invoice. If we require the affidavit of commissary to be approved, or if the acknowledgement letter doesn't have the initials and signature and date, we'll send that back to you and request that you go in and edit those documents and correct them, and then load them back in and send them back to us. Otherwise, if everything looks good, we will send you an email. The email that you will receive will be coming from exlnotifications@denvergov.org or info@denvergov.org. And the title of the email, the subject line will say invoice for record, whatever your record number is, and then it will have an attachment that shows you the invoice. And the invoice looks like this, and this will tell you how much that you have to pay. And then what you'll do is you'll go back to your Denver's Permitting and Licensing Center to pay the invoice. And the way you do that is you'll go to your to home, and then you'll click on My Records, and then you'll click on this little triangle next to Business Licenses, and then you are going to find your restaurant temporary license, and then you're going to see over here on the right hand side where it says pay fees due. You will click on that, and then here it's going to tell you how much the fees are due, and then you'll click on continue application, and it will redirect you to a third-party payment page. And this is the shopping cart, and you will just click on checkout now. It tells you how much you're going to pay. Click on checkout now. And then here you are going to enter in your credit card or bank information. For this example, we're going to say we're paying with the credit card and that we're paying with the Visa card. And so you'll enter in that information. And then the expiration date, and then the zip code for the billing on that credit card. And then you'll click on complete transaction. And then here it will show you the information, your receipt for your payment. You need to make sure that you print a copy of this payment. We do not email a copy of this receipt to you. So make sure you print a copy of this page for your records. And then now license will be emailed to you, and that is how you process a temporary restaurant license. And I would like to thank you for watching this Denver Excise and Licenses video. I hope that you have a great day. Thank you.